Okay, can everybody see my screen okay? Now that I muted you all? So, like, nod your head or something. Okay. Well, you probably saw the email that went out a few weeks ago, and Jim sent out an email basically saying that he was kind of fading out of things a bit, and that Vinny and Cindy and I were managing things. And really, Vinny, Cindy, and I chatted about that. In functionality, nothing is really changing. Pretty much my role and Cindy's role and Vinny's role are the same as they were before. Really, the only difference is Jim is less involved in. He hasn't been super involved for the for the past few months, but less involved now. So really, the only way that it affects anybody on the team is that things that you may have looked to Jim before, you need to go to somebody else with, and that doesn't affect a lot of you. That's mostly more like the management team. But hold on, sorry, it's Sarah. Just a sec. Okay, sorry about that. So, but we wanted to take some time just to go over the mission and vision statement, and Jim and several people on the team put this together a few years back, and it's a good thing to review it every so often, and we've got some new people, so that kind of gives you an opportunity to be more clear on exactly what it is we're wanting. Can you not hear me? No hearing? Yes? No? Can you hear me? No. Okay. Okay, how about now? Yes? Yes? No? Ginger, I'm taking this thing back. Every time I mute or unmute, or you have to go on, off, button, button, button. It's not cool. All right, so I don't know what I said that you didn't hear, but basically, Jim and some members of the team got together and put together our mission statement and vision statement a few years ago, and we like to review it every year just to kind of remind us what we're going for, what our target is, and we've got Mel and Shar and Karen have joined us, so we really haven't covered all of that with the three of you. So it's just good to refresh and kind of get the heart of the company, get the heart of what it is that we're choosing to create and what our target is. So if everybody can see my screen, if you can't, like, flag me. But why don't we just kind of take turns reading some of this, because it's not real long, but it'd be more fun if other people read too. So Ginger, would you want to kick us off and just read from this first sentence down through who we are? I'm going to unmute you.
Okay. Vision without action is a daydream. Action without vision is a nightmare. Good business leaders create a vision, articulate the vision passionately, own the vision, and relentlessly drive it to completion. Jack Welch, Chairman, General Electric. Ordinary people can do extraordinary things when joined together for a common cause. Lawson Purdue.
2 strikes. We got 1 more, right? Hey, Ginger, try again. Can we hear you now? Logan, are you back? Can you hear us now? Can you say something? Can we hear you?
Can you hear me?
Logan?
Nope.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
Ginger, are you back too?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
No, we can't hear her. Okay, Ginger, we can't hear you, so I'm going to have Logan pick up the reading. So would you start, Logan, with the who we are?
And just go down to the vision part.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Sure. FDI, who we are. Formalized Design Incorporated is an elite technical engineering and IT recruiting company for on-site, off-site contractors, full-time retained search for employee placements, and technical recruiting outsourcing. We are passionate and care about the interests of our candidates, clients, and employees. We have unique business processes, tools, and strategies to help our clients find the exact fit for the engineers, technicians, and managers to meet clients' on-site contracting, retained perm searches, or technical outsourcing needs. FDI is a leadership development company. We understand entrepreneurship, strategic thinking, and planning. We do manage and provide leadership direction and training for everyone, but with leaders there is much less people management involved. Everyone is a leader at FDI, and everyone at FDI is learning to be a better leader at all levels. At FDI, we want to train and release our people, to empower them so they understand at all levels of the company how to make good business decisions that align with our vision, mission, values, and business strategies. Leadership can be taught and caught. So if you want to learn more about entrepreneurial leadership, strategic thinking, earn good money, have fun, and make a difference in our world, then you may want to consider FDI.
Thanks, Logan. Vinny, do you want to read a little bit?
FDI vision, our purpose, why do we exist as a company? Our vision is to help stir up the hidden purposes, potential, and passion in people. Our mission, how do we fulfill our vision? Our mission is to serve and help others, to develop leaders, to help empower, envision, equip, stir up, model, and train. In doing this, our team, our engineering candidates, our clients, our vendors, and others will be serviced effectively. We want the world to see a difference in us. We want to help improve the quality of life for our employees, our contractors, our clients, and vendors through creative, imaginative, and profitable business strategies. As FDI helps and serves people in a strategic, focused, and purposeful manner, our company will prosper, thrive, and grow. We want to make a difference in focus, and our focus is on helping develop leaders who want to make a difference. I'll read the 4 principles. The 4 key principles. Everyone in our company is focused on and should give priority to at least these 4 areas. Creating opportunities, managing relationships, mentoring, and training. And our FDI motto is persistence pays off.
Yeah, we know that one, right? Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. All right, I'll read for a little bit. Nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful people with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent, universally powerful. 18 FDI values. What do we regard highly? What do we esteem? FDI is focusing on these 8 bulleted values below. We value strong work ethics and persistence and determination. We value strategic thinking, creativity, goal setting, time management, and planning. We value integrity, honesty, and doing what's right. We value a learning culture and a continual personal development. We value our employees and coach and grow from within the company. We value cultivating entrepreneurial leaders using a serving others approach. We value a can-do, positive mental attitude. We value all people, but especially those we are developing deeper relationships with. We value helping others achieve their own goals and lifelong pursuits, whatever it may be. We value giving first and serving first. We value openness and see failure as an opportunity to learn, grow, and understand what needs changing. We value unity, teamwork, respectfulness, and the opinions of others. We value listening and really hearing others. We value excellence and quality in all we do. We value balanced lifestyles and family values. We value corporate giving to individuals and organizations. We value key advisors, input, and training auditing for each business unit within FDI. We value our company celebrations and having fun working and growing together. Cindy Harper, you want to read a little bit?
Formalized design, entrepreneurial leadership, and serving others management style. Our team management style is treating people as entrepreneurial leaders running their own business or projects. I guess I can try to open my camera here. I was getting a little bit of a slowdown, so let me see if this messes things up. I'll close it again, Marnie. There's a big difference between being an entrepreneur and an entrepreneurial leader. Find out what the difference is. Entrepreneurial leadership is leadership that is based on the attitude that the leader is self-employed. Leaders of this type take initiative and act as if they are playing a critical role in the organization rather than a mostly important one and energize their people. They demonstrate entrepreneurial creativity, search continuously for new opportunities and pursue them. They take risk, venture into new areas, and provide strategic direction and inspiration for their people, or to their people. Take responsibility for the failures of their team, learn from those failures, and use them for strategic achievement. Entrepreneurial leadership involves instilling the confidence to think, behave, and act with entrepreneurship in the interest of fully realizing the intended purpose of the organization to the beneficial growth of all stakeholders involved.
Michael, do you want to read?
There was a little lag on my camera here. Where did you get to get rid of bureaucracy?
Yeah, to...
oh, entrepreneurial leadership, okay.
Yep, that right at the top there.
Got it. Entrepreneurial leadership allows FDI people to lead more and manage less. We are looking for leaders at every level within FDI who can energize, excite, and inspire our projects and our people. Manage ourselves, our time, our priorities, our focus, our growth, and be self-directed, self-motivated, and proactive in all that we do. That is what leaders consistently do. Get rid of bureaucracy. The way to harness the power of people at FDI is to turn them loose and get the management layers off their backs, the bureaucratic shackles off their feet, and the functional barriers out of their way. We want a flat organizational structure where managers and everyone else has an open door policy to get things done without layer upon layer of prior management approval. Everyone at all levels at FDI helps fulfill our vision and mission. Make good business decisions driven by our vision, mission, values, and business strategy. People need to understand the FDI vision, mission, values, culture, and management style, and based on those guidelines, people within the organization can make good business decisions. If in doubt, ask someone who is available, who knows, and this person may not necessarily be your manager. Have a strategy and a plan for everything that matters and refine it.
So let's just pause there for a minute and just kind of chat about this part, what we've covered so far. But just to kind of sum it up, and Cindy and Vinny, anybody else, feel free to chime in whenever you want to. But really where we're coming from, kind of our focus, if you will, is that everybody is a leader. There's not a hierarchy. We have different job functions, but it's not, a lot of times, you know, corporate America, it's like this top-down sort of thing, and there's big wigs, and then there's all these different levels. And the way that we see things within Formalized is that everybody has equal importance, everybody has equal value no matter what your job function is. Everybody is a leader and everybody is an entrepreneurial leader. And what that means is, what are you good at? What's fun for you? Where do you like to use your creativity? Where do you shine? You know, what ideas do you have that you see, hey, we're doing this? And I mean, there's value for when you're new to learn the processes and learn how things are being done so that you can understand the flow and go with the flow. And then once you've got that, if you say, hey, you know, this here doesn't make sense to me, what about trying this? We want that kind of synergy. We want that kind of input. Every single one of you have capacities and abilities and gifts and talents, and the more that you show up as you in the world, the more that you show up with who you truly be and the things that are fun for you and the things that you're good at, the more the whole company and the whole team benefits and grows. So if there was any kind of environment that I would love for us to cultivate, it would be just that, of what's fun for you and where do you shine and what would you like to contribute. I'm going to do some muting here because I'm hearing some background. Hang on. Okay, I think that's better. So that's really where we're coming from, is not levels, not hierarchy, but everybody brings something of value and they bring a contribution that is unique to who they are. And the more we step up with that, the more we benefit individually, we benefit as a team and as a company. And so that's our focus and that's our target. And the second piece of that is, you know, you see the word serve in there in the mission statement, vision statement a lot. And really the heart that we have is, you know, how can we go the extra mile? How can we bring value, bring benefit, bring contribution to the people that we're working with? And so rather than coming from, you know, this person is just like a number that we process, it's connecting with the people and relating to the people and kind of seeing what would help make this process for them be more smooth and more fun and more ease, and how can we contribute to that. So piece number one is recognizing you're an entrepreneurial leader and what can you create and what can you bring within the system that works for everyone else. Piece number two, how can we be a value add to our clients, to our engineers? What can we contribute and how can we develop the connections with them that really set us apart from your everyday recruiting company? So Vinny, Cindy, Harper, I'll start with you guys. Is there anything you want to add to that? Or
one thing I think about when we look at this, I guess, passage of FDI scripture is I think of how we assign, you know, practically what does that look like as far as everybody's a leader. And one of the things that I've heard Jim mention, and I think this is true, is that, like, if a person has a task, let's say, you know, Cindy Hoover has a task, and it's been given to her, you know, we really consider that to be, you know, that's Cindy Hoover's task. And then anything else that, if she needs help with something, we're really underneath her. It doesn't matter, it could be Jim, it could be anybody. I mean, we're really there to serve her get that task. But really, she becomes managing us, the other people that are involved in helping her getting that task. So the hierarchy gets really confusing because there isn't one in one sense. There is this an experience level, but then there's also, you know, we try and serve each other. So practically, like, you might be given a task, but really then you own that task. We're not trying to micromanage that task as much as that's a hard habit to break for management. We're trying to just give you the task, you own it, you're the leader in that, and then you have all the resources in the company at your disposal to help you get that task done. And then when you ask for that help, like I've been assigned a task before, and then I need Jim to help me on that task, and then in that sense, you know, Jim's really working for me to get that done. So that's one of the ways that I've heard Jim explain that, and, you know, that's a little bit different than a lot of companies, but, you know, it actually helps work, and then you don't feel like you're getting micromanaged and people are breathing down your neck. You can do it your own way, and just as long as it gets done. So that's one thing that I thought about when it came to that part.
yeah, and thanks for that, for bringing that up, because it is a valid point of if you are the task owner, it is your task, and nobody is interested, nor do we have time to micromanage. There's just too much going on. So it really becomes important if you're stuck with something to ask questions, you know, and to take the initiative to say, I do not know how to accomplish this task, or I'm stuck right here, or this is an obstacle that I keep running into, or whatever that is, but to take it on yourself to be the owner of whatever is yours and then ask. And sometimes even if you don't know what to ask, just say that. Something isn't working here and I'm not even sure what to ask because I don't know what I don't know. But to be proactive and use your voice in that. And if it is your task, what Vinny said is, who do you require to assist you with accomplishing that? So yeah, thank you for that input. Cindy Harper, how about you?
Good, Vinny. I mean, if we go back up to the 4, you know, things that we're focused on, and because I think we can all get real busy. I mean, we even saw yesterday how we came back to some basic ideas about LinkedIn, and we just haven't had resources to do it. But, you know, I think if we can really stay focused on creating opportunities, managing relationships, and then if we get overwhelmed, because I think we can all get busy doing tasks that are probably good. I mean, or they might have been good at one time, you know, and we kind of, we're so small and we all wear so many different hats that we play a lot of different roles. And I think part of that is we'll have these great planning sessions and get a lot on the table, and then we just get busy, you know, creating opportunities, and managing relationships, and we just, you know, we don't continuously improve our processes like we want to. So I guess the other thing is just to be aware if you're feeling overwhelmed and like too much has been put on you. I mean, the work-life balance is extremely important. And, you know, like Marnie said, we probably just don't know. Don't assume that we know of all the assignments and tasks, and, you know, that we're keeping track, and we think, oh, gosh, you know, now that's 15 things I put on their plate. A lot of times we're running really fast, you know, just trying to keep up too. So I think I just want to encourage everybody to know that, you know, we're all supporting each other. We're all trying to create opportunities. I mean, that's how we stay in business and thrive. And, you know, that's our ultimate goal, I guess, is to keep, you know, this business thriving and do it in a way that, you know, aligns with the values that have been laid out here. But, you know, just never feel like you've got to, you know, you've got to get all this done. And I've been there. I mean, I've just come to where, you know, well, they don't care about me. You know, the things just keep piling on. And it was my perception, and it was my understanding and the way I was receiving things. And, you know, it didn't have to be that way. So I just want to encourage kids, because we do get so busy, and you guys are all awesome people. I mean, I think everybody working here is a 10, and you'll tend to take on and do as much as you can. And that can go overboard, I guess. So my big thing is just let's work on work-life balance. Let's, you know, if we need to hand off, and we can. You know, if you need Marnie or I to come in and, you know, come alongside to do a task to finish it, we want to have that kind of a culture, I guess, if that makes sense. I know, Marnie, you might be able to articulate what I'm saying better. I think you know what I'm saying, right?
Oh, you articulated it very well, and yeah, it is easy to, we all wear a lot of hats because we're small, and so we can end up with a whole lot of things on our plate, or sometimes I'll say, Logan, do this, and then Cindy says, Logan, do that, and then Logan's got 50 things he's supposed to do. Raise the white flag and say, stop, people. How am I supposed to, you know, let's sort this, let's prioritize this, let's figure out what's really important and what can fall to the bottom of the list. Please don't let yourself get to that overwhelm where it's not fun for you anymore, because that's not what we're going for. And yes, everybody here works hard. I know that. Cindy, go ahead. You want to say something?
Well, I was just going to say, and when you're going through that, the priority is always the job, the submittal. I mean, if you're sitting there and it's between, you know, calling or, you know, doing tasks that are important, you know, but the priority is always the jobs that we have, that we're working, because if we don't deliver on those, you know, we're the future, you know, we've got to seize the moment. So it is a balance of saying, we've got this opportunity today, we've got to live in the present, we've got to get this issue. If we have an issue with a contractor or, you know, a client, I mean, that's going to, you know, obviously that's the most important. And so if other stuff, you know, has to take the back seat for a minute, it's okay.
Yes. Yes. Hold on, I need to mute something. Or maybe not. Everybody's muted.
Well, I just remember one other thing with that.
So, yeah.
Was Sarah Roby once, when I first started with working with Formalized, we were even smaller, you know, and Sarah once, I know she's not here, but her example was, you know, she used to wear like 5 hats. She was doing like everything. When I came on, she was doing payroll, HR, accounting, then doing all the computer setups, some recruiting. I mean, she's doing everything, you know, and then I kind of came on to really assist her. But, you know, her famous words were, you know, Jim would call her up and ask her to do something, and she would just kind of just, you know, let it pile on, and finally, you know, they figured out a good way of working around that. And her way was basically Jim would give her something and she'd say, that sounds like a great thing to do, Jim. I can do that. But here's all these other things you wanted me to do. Which one of those do you want me to drop doing so I can take this new task? You know, as opposed to just letting it load on. And that's an honest thing to say. It's like, I've got these other 5 things. I can definitely do what you're asking me to do. But which one of these other 4 or 5 things do you want me to, like, put to the side? And otherwise, we really have no clue. And then, too, you know, one of the worst things I think that can be done is just not get the task done but not tell anyone. Because if it's something that can be, if it's just if someone gets overworked or overburdened, you know, I think all of us are willing to, you know, shoot a hand out there or try and help someone get it done. But when we try and, you know, give a task to someone and we think that you're owning it and managing it, you know, I'm trying not to check up on people. I really don't, you know, like doing that. I just assume it's getting done. And if I don't hear anything, I'm assuming it's already done. And then we've had some problems over a couple of years with HR where we're just really trying to communicate. I think just trying to communicate that as much as I can. I've just done a bad job of doing that. That really, if you get to Friday or you get to a certain day and there's a bunch of stuff that's not able to get done, you know, just pick up the phone and say, hey, Marnie, you know, like, I know you asked me to do this, need some help. Otherwise, you know, we're just thinking it's done. So and there's no, you know, problems with, you know, needing help. A lot of times you ought to get busy. I know sometimes I have like 5 tasks. I'm like, sweet, I can get all that done by Wednesday. And then one task keeps me busy until Friday morning because a problem comes up. So it all happens to everybody. But just to definitely, you know, you can hear, you know, Marnie and Cindy and all of us just kind of echo the same thing. Like, just ask for help. Don't get over, you know, don't get too much piled on you, because when that happens and everything goes wrong, you know, so, and it starts going into your personal life too, then that's not good.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, several of you at one time or another have said to me, you know, hey, I know you're super busy, but I need this, and I get that often. I know you're super busy. So I just want to say that, yeah, things can get busy sometimes, and each one of you are my priority, and providing you with what you need to be able to do your job effectively is my priority. So please don't ever hesitate to say this is what I need, or this is what I have a question about, or this is what I'm needing some assistance with, or whatever, because that is my priority for, you know, what we're doing. And the other thing, and I feel confident in saying Vinny and Cindy would echo this, is there's not a please know that we're approachable, and if there's something that, a way that we communicate or a way that's not working for you, that's something we've done, that you can say, not with, you know, guns loaded, but say, hey, can we chat about this? This didn't work for me, or this is really frustrating when you do this to me. Could we chat about this? Could we see if we could do something different here? Please feel like you're always free to do that. The more that we have open communication, and the more that we're able to work through anything that would pop up for anybody, then the more smooth the system flows, and the more smooth the system flows, the more business we're able to accomplish. So rather than letting something kind of fester and, you know, till you're, if that happens, and that kind of stuff doesn't happen here a lot, and we're human beings, and sometimes things arise that just don't settle very well. So please know that communication is welcome with that. Vinny or Cindy, anything else on that?
I don't know about you guys, but I'm personally a robot, so I never have any emotional problems. I'm like Data from Star Trek.
I was just going to say that. I was just going to say, we'll call you Data.
There you go. That's what I tell my wife. I'm like, I'm perfect all the time. I never have the flesh, man. The flesh never acts up in me.
So, well, let me open it up to anybody else who wants to, or Cindy, did you have something else first?
No, no, I think this is really good to revisit. I mean, it makes me feel proud when I, see kind of our values, and I just think it's good. I mean, I think we're part of something very special, and I think we have an amazing group here, and, this is good. I mean, I think we should feel good and take a lot of pride in the kind of values and ethics that, the company. I know this is Jim's heart, and this was everyone's heart this was a collaborative effort when we hammered this out. I know not everybody was there, but it was this was a workshop, and people really engaged, and it was very intense, and I think this is the same. We just tend to draw these kinds of people that share these values.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's really a good thing to go through.
Yeah. So let me just open it up to anybody else, and you're all muted, so click your little microphone if you want to say something. But any questions or any comments, or just kind of what stands out to you in the vision and mission statement?
Can I talk?
Yes, please.
I know when I first started here, for the newbies here, the hardest thing I had to get over was the discipline that it took to sit at home, but I always had a backup. If I needed to go to somebody, I've always felt very comfortable with talking with any of y'all. And I really appreciate that, because most jobs don't offer that.
Thanks, Ginger. Thanks for that input. And yeah, and the point about working from home, that's an adjustment for a lot of people. Because it is different, it is organized. But every time we bring up the working from home, some of you were at the Christmas party, was it 3 years ago? And Jim was talking about what a transition it was for him, and how much adjustment it was when he started to work from home. And Lynn was just quietly sitting there, and she goes, "Hard for you." Do you remember that? She had just been so quiet the whole morning. It was quite funny. But yeah, it is an adjustment, and it's different. You don't have someone sitting right next to you all the time where you can just say, "Hey, what about this?" Or so it is an adjustment to stay focused with the laundry that's piling up in the hallway, in my case, maybe not for all of y'all, but staying organized, or feeling like you're not bothering or interrupting someone if you do have a question. So, and thanks for the acknowledging that you were able to talk to people when required. And I feel like we do our best to be approachable about whatever needs to be talked about. So anybody else? Comments, questions, anything that kind of pops for you about the vision or mission statement?
I do.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, I just kind of asked, just how lucky did I get to be able to work with each and every one of you? I mean, like, just looking at this work environment you don't see very often. It's like a family environment. We share our struggles, but in the end, we really have each other's back, and whatever we can do to help, we're there for everyone. And I'm so grateful for all of you, and I'm really glad I'm able to work here with everyone. And yeah, thank you for everyone.
Thanks, Michael. And I just kind of to echo back, when I look at the team, and if people who manage companies or whatever, and you're always hearing the horror stories of people who I can't get them to do anything and blah, blah, blah. And I just look at this team, and it's just a team of phenomenal people who are committed to whatever their task is, and they do it with a lot of excellence is not really the word I'm looking for. I'm looking for a different word, but it's kind of that. It's just do it with their heart and put themselves into it. And I have a lot of gratitude for that. And Sarah, I wanted to just kind of acknowledge her. She's, as Benny pointed out, she's worn all kinds of hats at one time, forever and a day. She's been focusing on e-marketing, and because we're really kind of shifting, working some intel and some different kinds of things, I needed some assistance with some researching. And I said, Sarah, how about, I know you haven't done this for a while, and just her attitude. I mean, Cindy was part of that whole discussion, and just her attitude and her willingness of it wasn't, well, that's not my job description, or I don't know how to do that, or I can't do that, or she just totally, whatever you want me to do, I'm here to do it, and she jumped right in, and she did it with an awesome attitude, and she's got an offer after 2 days of searching. And I use Sarah as an example because that's a recent thing, but I can point to every one of you and at specific things that you've just really shown a willingness to do whatever is required, and I have a lot of gratitude for that as well. So thank you for the contribution that y'all bring. So anybody else, anything to add, any questions?
I just remember when I came down last time I was in Colorado, it was in May of 2011, and we had that team meeting where we rented out a conference space at that hotel. And we were kind of going over all this stuff. I think we had put this together a little bit before then, but we were going over all the stuff at that time too. And when Michael says about being a family and like it's a weird, it's not weird, but just a dynamic environment in that way. I mean, for those of you who weren't there, I mean, and it was awesome. It was really cool. I mean, our team, you think of team meetings, and you have, big binders of information. You're going over PowerPoint presentations, and it's very sterile, and, you have a guest speaker. And we just sat and basically cried for about 2 days with each other. We sat and built each other up. We sat around in a circle and just, gave each other, praise and, thank each other for what we did. We handed out some awards. We had a guest speaker come in that was more, and we just gave him a bunch of, we just donated to him. It was amazing. It was like the coolest time. For a couple of people that aren't here with us now, they were kind of new to the company even then. I'm sure it was kind of weird. Like, who are these people? But we really do care about each other even outside of work, and it's pretty amazing. So, you don't find. I mean, there might be other companies that are more loose about management style, like Google and Facebook and stuff. But as far as actually being a family, I honestly, I mean. Even, I could honestly call just about any one of those companies that I've had a relationship with. And if I had a personal problem, they'd be there just to hear me, just because we've developed that. So it is a special place, it's really cool. So as you get to know everybody and as you start to develop those relationships, everyone's a really good person on the inside too, not just at work. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and for the new people, if you have any sense of overwhelm because of all the new things that you have to learn, the new processes and the tools and those moments where you just is it ever gonna click? The answer is yes, it will click. So yes, I see that, Mel. So just kind of whatever question you can ask, whatever thing you can do to get up from the computer, walk away, take a walk, whatever, just to take a deep breath. I mean, Jim said when I started, give yourself 6 months to even begin to feel like you know what you're doing. And really, I want to say he said 2 years before you really feel settled into it. So for most of us, the whole industry, the whole technical side of things is totally new. There's a lot to learn. And so just give yourself permission to learn. Give yourself permission to not know the answer. Don't compare yourself to, oh man, they actually sound like they know what these positions are about. I'll never get this. Don't do that. Because we all said the same thing, and you will. So, just give yourself some space and some room to breathe and some room to learn and room to grow, and it'll click. So, all right, anybody else? Anything to add? So, and just another example, Logan, just about stepping up, being the entrepreneurial leader, and what ideas do you have? We've had this subcontractor spreadsheet forever and a day, and every 1 out of 10 positions, we remember to pull it out and actually email these guys and see if they've got candidates for us. And so Logan had the idea that he brought out of creating a rec on Taleo with all these subcontracting companies, and Ginger just graciously accepted that task to get that put together. And so now we'll have all of the email addresses for our third-party vendors in one folder, and we're going to put it as part of the flow as soon as the job opens up. As long as H1 candidates are allowed, we'll just select all those emails and send out a quick job ad, and we're going to make that part of the process. So that's an example of, hey, here's an idea. What do you think about this? And bringing it forward, and it added something to our process that will be, it'll be a good thing to have. So And I also want to acknowledge Michael for just stepping up to do the training that he's done. I kind of threw him into it, and he just has done it with an awesome attitude and a positive attitude, and has brought some fun and some patience and some all of that. And so grateful for that. And I'm not wanting to leave anybody out. Those are like the three that popped right now because it's recent, and I can just go down the line to every single one of you with gratitude for what you bring. So please know that there's a lot of appreciation for all of you. A lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. And Erin would say this much. So, all right. Anybody? What is that? Is that like a superhero news? Oh, that's funny. Yes, that much. Cool. Cindy Harper, did you have anything else?
No, I think you guys have said it. It's fun, and I really look forward to the work sessions on Wednesday. It's just awesome to get the whole team together, and well, I just see it's growing and thriving. I mean, we hear all this. If people ask me all the time, "How's work going?" It's like, it's fantastic. It's awesome. I mean, it's not a fantasy. It's awesome, and we're building relationships. We're growing. We had felt like we had some great breakthroughs yesterday on just some simple things we can do, and when you just do things, and it's just each day, we just kind of get up and do the right thing and build relationships, and we are thriving, and I do believe the best is yet to come, and it's fun, and I do so much enjoy working with this team. So being in corporate America for 30 years, let me tell you, this is a blessing, and I am grateful. So yeah, I'm very thankful for the team we have. But I think, one of the purposes of kind of getting this groundwork, this framework for this is that, as we do grow, that we don't lose sight of who we are and that, what our core values are. So, if we end up growing and adding more people, this is still who we are, no matter how big we get. And I still believe, this is a great company, and there's a lot of business out there for us. So the best is yet to come.
Yeah.